All right, it's that time of year again, the year-end banquet season. You know, that magical time when the food is free-flowing, the bosses are generous, and our willpower is, well, it's put to the test. For anyone trying to stay on track with their health, these feasts can feel less like a party and more like a high-stakes obstacle course.
I mean, this just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It perfectly captures that feeling. You're sitting there, staring at this mountain of incredible food, and this is the exact battle raging in your mind. The struggle is definitely real.
But don't worry, today we're going to reframe this whole thing. Let's not call it a banquet. Let's call it the survival game of fat and starch. And in this explainer, I'm going to give you the official playbook, the rules you need to not just survive, but to actually win.
Okay, let's get right into it with your very first power-up. This is a game changer, and it's all about mastering the strategic order in which you eat.
So you're probably wondering, does the order I eat my food really matter that much? It sounds almost too simple to be true, but trust me, the science behind this is a total game changer for how your body handles the feast.
It really all boils down to something called high glycemic or high GI foods. See, when you drop things like rice or noodles onto an empty stomach, your body freaks out a little. It causes this huge insulin spike, and insulin is kind of like the traffic controller for your energy. It basically shouts, "Red alert! Store all this energy as fat now!"
So here's the winning play-by-play. It's a super simple 4-step sequence. First, you start with water or a clear soup. This helps take the edge off your hunger. Then you move on to the vegetables. The fiber in them acts like a bouncer, slowing down how fast your body absorbs fat. Step 3, bring in the protein, your fish, your chicken, whatever it is. And only then, at the very end, do you go for the starch. By that point, you're already kind of full, so you'll naturally eat way less of it. Simple.
All right, on to our next technique. Now that we've got the order down, it's time to put on our detective hats. We're going to master the art of food forensics and spot those sneaky calorie traps hiding in plain sight.
So here we have a classic tale of two soups. Over in the safe zone, you've got your nice, clear broths. But then, look at the danger zone. Those thick, glossy, beautiful soups and gravies. You gotta think of those as a mix of refined starch and oil. They're literally designed to trap fat, making every single spoonful a major calorie hit.
And what about the one we're all eyeing, the deep-fried goodies? Well, the strategy here is incredibly simple, maybe even a little ruthless. You just take off its coat.
And what's the reward for this little bit of food surgery? You could be saving yourself around 200 calories. That's a pretty good workout's worth of calories, just by ditching that crispy, oily batter. Totally worth it.
And here are a few more rapid-fire combat moves for you. Always, always take the skin off chicken and duck. That's where so much of the fat is hiding. Be brave. Trim that jiggly layer of fat off the dongpo pork. And oh, if it's a hot pot situation, drink some of that clear broth before everyone starts cooking the meat in it, not after it's become a rich, fatty soup.
Okay, let's move on to strategy number 3. We have to talk about a battlefield that a lot of us forget about entirely, the liquid landmines. Yep, we're talking about alcohol and all those sugary drinks.
Just take a look at this chart. It tells you everything you need to know. We all know fat is the king of calories, right? Over there at 9 calories per gram. But look what's in a very, very close second place. Alcohol. At 7 calories per gram, there's a good reason people call it liquid bread. It's just a huge source of empty calories.
But honestly, it gets worse. Alcohol hits you with this nasty 1-2 punch. Not only is it packed with calories, but it also signals to your body to just stop burning fat. So all that amazing food you're eating with it, yeah, that's way more likely to get stored away. So what do? Here's your cheat sheet. First off, just skip the sugary juices. Go for sugar-free tea or maybe some sparkling water instead. And if you are going to have some alcohol, here's a pro tip. For every 1 sip of alcohol, take 3 sips of water right after. It helps you stay hydrated, helps your metabolism, and you'll just naturally drink less of the booze overall.
And now we have arrived at the final boss battle. This is all about mastering your plate and knowing when to make a strategic retreat. It's really about mindset and portion control.
You know, so many of us were taught, don't waste food, but we need a major mindset shift here. Your stomach is not a garbage can for leftovers. It takes about 20 minutes for your brain to get the message that you're full. If you ignore that signal just to clean your plate, you're not preventing waste. You're just overstuffing yourself.
So here are 2 super simple but super powerful winning moves. First, portion it out. When a new dish hits the table, put a small amount on your own plate and just decide, okay, this is my share. And second, you have to embrace the takeaway box. There's no shame in politely asking to pack up things like the chicken soup or rice cakes. They're amazing for lunch the next day. It's a total win-win. So, to bring it all home, let's just recap with this catchy little rhyme. If you can remember this, you're golden. Start with water, then have your greens. Skinless and fatless is how you stay lean. Skip the thick soups that are best left unseen, and moderate drinks to keep your health keen. That's pretty much the perfect mantra for any banquet.
And that brings us to the final and maybe most important takeaway. Just remember, your goal isn't to eat your money's worth. The real grand prize isn't on your plate. The real prize is winning that awesome TV in the raffle, feeling fantastic the next morning, and kicking off the new year feeling healthy and full of energy. Good luck, and I hope you win big.